Hi, everybody, and okay, I think I'm live now. So, hello, everybody. Hi, beautifuls. Happy 2023. And it's really a holy year from my experience that each day we have a sacred opportunity to choose love inside and in our lives. And so I wanted to give you a forgiveness reminder. Like, what better way to start 2023 than with forgiveness? Because in my experience, when I practice self-forgiveness, it is one of the most direct routes to choosing and to receiving loving. So, here is my invitation. At some point this week, put a little note on your calendar and just call it forgiveness time. And it could be 5 minutes, it could be 15 minutes, could be a half an hour. Really, it's like whatever time that you'll commit to and that your heart is calling you to spend on forgiveness. And in the time that you've set aside, here's my recommendation. And that is to write down one thing that you judge. It could be about yourself. It could be about a situation in your life. It could be about another person. For me, I would say it's a pattern of self-doubt, of really just sort of going in my head and doubting the things that I do and the things that I say. So I would write down self-doubt. Then put out your hands and put that thing you judge into your hands. So I'm imagining putting self-doubt into my hands. And then look at it and ask the question, what is the gift that you have for me for 2023? So again, what is the gift that you have for me for 2023? What I hear, and I'm going to slow down with this more, is something like my self-doubt has a gift of inspiration for me to look at new creative ways to choose to take care of and to love myself. So I definitely want to slow down with that more. And then the last thing, you might do this as a journal or you could speak it out. You could forgive yourself for placing the judgment to begin with. Forgive yourself for placing the judgment to begin with. And the gem in that is that the thing itself is not right or wrong or good or bad. So people who've worked with me, we've really wrapped our heads and our hearts around this and our spirits around this. It's like, what if there is no such thing as right or wrong, only our thinking that makes it so? It's really my self-doubt coming in to say, give love to that voice. I love it. New ways to choose and receive love already. So, really, that there's a field beyond wrongdoing and right doing, and that's what forgiving the judgment can do. That if you say something like for me, I'll say, I forgive myself for judging myself, for doubting my abilities and my expression. So the key phrase is, I forgive myself for judging. So it's really when we place the judgment that something is an issue, that something is wrong or right or good or bad, that separates ourselves from the loving. And so when you use the phrase, I forgive myself for judging. It can make such a difference. And you may just try it on and explore it and see what happens when you really just practice some forgiveness statements. So you can do just one statement and forgive the judgment that you placed. I forgive myself for judging myself, for doubting my abilities and my expression. You may write down numerous forgiveness statements that it could involve other people or situations, right? So I forgive myself for judging this person for doing that, etc. So I hope this helps. It's a little exercise, a little way to be with yourself and choose love, and a little forgiveness reminder. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'd be happy to answer them. I think you might know that this is the kind of work that I do, and it would be such an honor to just, if you have a question, I'd be happy to just support you through that. So have a wonderful day, wonderful week, and know that I am beaming you love. Beaming you love. And a big hug of grace and blessings for the new year. A new year filled with forgiveness and loving. Okay, bye for now.